What's up, YouTube? What's up? So this video gonna be about Shaq and Wilt over Jokic. Yes. You know, I watched Rob Parker and Kevin Washington show, and I usually can't stand Kevin Washington because he ain't no replacement for Chris Broussard. He just be loud and says whatever. But he was making sense. He was making sense. He talked about Shaq's dominance. Now, they don't remember stuff. Shaq had a great series against the Pistons that last year, that last finals in '04. Kobe stunk it up because Kobe was flying back and forth from Colorado, and Karl Malone and Gary Payton were old. And Larry Brown with Rip Hamilton and Chauncey clapped on them. Chauncey Billups spanked up on Gary Payton. They usually don't happen that often, but they were too athletic and overwhelming. But it wasn't Shaq. It wasn't on Shaq because the Lakers had won that final. Shaq would have been the MVP. Of the six finals that Shaquille O'Neal went to from 96 to '06, he was the best player for his said team, five of those. Led three different teams to the finals: Orlando, the Lakers four times, and Miami. So I don't know how you're going to dispute that fact. And as far as Rob Parker trying to downplay an MVP, well, they didn't give it to him. He could have won two or three MVPs. It's all subjective, but the Turkeys don't use logic, and they don't really want to give Shaq no due. It's not fashionable. See, because now they're going after Shaq. They go after Wilt. And anyway, so let me get this straight. Shaq kept people employed. You would have to have four centers, six fouls, hack a Shaq. He kept you employed. You know, when you impose rules, 3-second violations, how you ref on them, flopping, acting, that's dominance. You can't make this up. And someone, chicken head on the show talking about, well, Shaq was one dimensional. If you do one thing great, hey, bless your soul. Because you couldn't stop it. You couldn't stop it. You had to deal with that man for a decade. He was that good. And Kobe was not the fully Kobe Bryant that he turned into when Shaq had him. Let's keep that in mind. He actually got better without Shaq. He played great with him, but he got better without. So let's not get that twisted. But anyway, that's on that note. Now let's get to Wilt Chamberlain, the guy that Stephen A. Smith says, I'm going to hold it against him because he was 2-11 against Bill Russell in the finals. Well, the Celtics had a great freaking team. And Bill Russell is one of the greatest defensive players ever, maybe the greatest defensive player ever. Kind of like the Floyd Mayweather of centers, if you will, because there ain't nothing getting through. And Russell would talk trash, and he give you that laugh, but he wasn't playing. He wasn't afraid of nobody. That man held it down. Even in that racist town, he held it down and was a winner. And everybody was better behind it. So it's like, hey, they were a team of all-stars. The Celtics were stacked. But if you do know your homework, like Stephen A. Smith, the two times he won, they were two of the greatest teams ever. I will tell you this much. I'll take Wilt Chamberlain going to 11, being 2-11 in the finals, than some cat that's only been to one final so far. I'll take Shaq's what you want to say because he said Soviet barbecue chicken. I'll take Shaq free throws, what have you, over Jokic. Jokic ain't in the conversation with those two. So I wish these turkeys would stop saying it because now it gets personal. You know, I will give him. I'm very fair. I'll let him sit at the table with Moses Malone and with Hakeem Olajuwon. I'll let him sit there at that table. He ain't at the Big Four table. He ain't at the Big Four table. And I am being kind about him sitting with Moses and Olajuwon. Because he ain't surpassed them yet, but he can sit at that table. He ain't at the Big Four table. You see, you got to go to more than one finals. You can win all these league MVPs. That's kind of like why Steve Nash got a credit because he got the two league MVPs. Does anybody hold him in the same regards as Jason Kidd, John Stockton, Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson? Nope. Isaiah Thomas? Nope. He got two league MVPs. What that mean? Jokic is bad. I think an incredible talent. But these turkeys are slurping hard. Perk saying, I can't think of 20 players better than him. I can. And I was rocking with Jokic before Perk got on board, because Perk got on just a year ago. I know what he did to my Miami Heat. I know how good the cat is, but let's not act like he's Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain great, okay? He ain't the most dominant. He doesn't create no changes like that. His numbers are impressive, but last I checked, he had a team that was seen as a destiny a couple years ago. What did happen? They can't beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. You think Shaquille O'Neal and Wilt Chamberlain wouldn't figure out how to just toasterize Rudy Gobert? I mean, come on now. Remember what you are trying to say. You know, Shaq and Wilt are far better than Jokic. That's not a diss. That's just a fact. And I don't like this little narrative of trying to, try to be slick. Yeah, he put on some. He ain't the MVP this year. SGA got the best record, best team. Jokic don't finish up. His teammates don't respond to it. They got essentially the same team they had that won the finals. How come they aren't on a dynasty run? How come he's not contending for runs? He only got to go against Anthony Davis and sometimes when Joel Embiid feels like playing. It's not like he's got a lot of bigs to worry about. So he's in a more watered down cupcake hostess Twinkie league. And I seen a Jokic before. His name was Arvydas Sabonis. And I'm going to be real with you. Arvydas Sabonis, to me, was better than Jokic. And I'm impressed with Jokic big time. But Arvydas Sabonis was doing that routine 30, 40 years ago. And if he had been playing with the Portland Trailblazers, rest in peace to Kevin Duckworth. But if he had had him with Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter, they probably won a ring or two. Because Sabonis was a bad dude. I caught him with Damon Stoudemire when Sabonis was pushing 48. And he still was hitting outside shots and was the best passer on that Blazer team. So it's not like I haven't seen this movie before. I just saw an older version. But Jokic, I've told the same thing, and I've been consistent. You got to get to a few more finals. You got to win a couple more rings. You got to do that. Stop this regular season stat pattern. It's nice, but you got to make some noise in the money time. And you sitting around here letting Rudy Gobert hang up on you and think he can guard you, and they knocking your butt out, and Edwards is hitting fadeaways on you, and you losing? That's not what's up. 61-10-10 is great, but it ain't nothing if you don't get to the chip. And remember, Shaq camped out for the finals, the last three-peater. Wilt Chamberlain spent a lifetime in the finals, okay? That's what you got to do to dominate. You got to be dominant, But if you want stats and pay patty cake, that's fine. And listen, this ain't no diss. I just don't like these so-called heads on sticks trying to downplay Shaq and Wilt to hype up Jokic, who he's coming, but he ain't on their table. He's not at the table with Shaq, Wilt, Kareem, and Bill Russell. So stop. There's nothing you can say to convince me unless I see him when he gets his third ring, 3 finals MVPs, to go along with his regular season MVPs, 25,000 plus points, 10,000 rebounds, and all assists, then I will say yeah. But until that day comes, And not to mention those guys played against far better competition, and they also were dominant. They beat you in different ways. Oh, before you ask about Shaq, right? The guy was underrated as a passer, and he had a spin moves. He had moves. It wasn't just some dude that just like a log truck. He actually could move. And we don't talk about Wilt. They had the league in assists, finger rolling, doing all the nine. But you see, I'll tell Stephen A. Smith's pecan head this. I'll take a 2-11, 2-9 record in the finals, whatever, because at least Wilt was competing for chips. Jokic has only been to one finals. That's nothing to be impressed with. Shaq was 4-2 in the finals, three-peated. 3 different teams to the finals. Now you could sit there and say Penny, Kobe, and Dwayne Wade are better than Jamal Murray. But he wasn't with a stacked team. He sure as heck didn't have no Aaron Gordon type of power forward. He didn't have no Michael Porter Jr. playing. These Nuggets are underachieving. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And you got to have great teammates and great players to make great plays. Shaq was competing at a high level. Wilt was competing at a high level. Jokic has only been to one finals. Ain't got one ring. And that's great. But considering all this hype and hoopla they put in there, you think the dude, had a a multitude, but he hasn't. He hasn't. Mm-mm. So I'm not buying that. I'm here to tell you. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like it. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.